Yep, back just getting. I had apparently updates queued, so that definitely did a little bit of a delay, annoyingly. Oh yeah, we're also gonna get ads that run. I don't know if you'll get caught up in them or not, but because now it's gonna count it as a new stream because it was not quite fast enough. Um, to keep it as one stream, which is okay. Can't win them all. Okay, we're just getting. Okay, so OBS is up. I am going to do a light experiment that may or may not work. Um, oh, that made me tiny. I don't like that. Whatever. We're gonna try that. Um, no, actually, there we go. That's the one I should be on. Hello again. Steam is starting, so that's where we are. Steam is starting, and we might have ads in 30 seconds. If you're subbed, you shouldn't have ads, but we might have ads in 30 seconds. We will find out. Okay. My computer seems happier after the restart, so that's something. I'm gonna try to run it sans stream avatars to start, just to see if stream avatars is part of what was bogging it down so much. Because while they've done a lot to help stream avatars, it's not perfect. And I'd really like to run it with stream avatars, but if it's gonna not let me run the game, I'm gonna have to unfortunately make that call. Um, but yeah, definitely issues coming with the computer needing to be restarted. It's never a good sign when you're restarting your computer and it's like, oh, you have updates that you need to apply, and you're like, I don't remember when we updated this, so. That's not a great sign. Yes, yes, Steam, you're very special. Close your ad promoting yourself. Let me launch my game. Ads had started. If there's a chance you were getting them, you would be getting them now. Dark Souls is firing up. Doing its own little weird thing. But it is firing up. Can you hear me, by the way? Just checking. Okay. You did not like me hitting that button. I am just trying. There we go. Now my controller doesn't want to connect. We're just having... There we go. Systems options. PC settings. Borderless. Okay. PC, sorry, not borderless. We wanted full screen 1920. That's what we were doing. I'm going to try it here to start. Adjust this guy into place. Come back over here. And see how this goes. Right on time for the game to tell me that the ad break ended. We'll see if this made any difference at all. I mean, we're doing two things. We've dropped stream avatars, and we've running at the low resolution, and we've restarted my computer, and apparently applied updates, so... Okay, yeah. Might be too soon to call it, but that seems like a significant... Okay. We're running good. Or significantly better, at least. Just the occasional little teeny, tiny stutter, which I can ignore. See, this is one of the things that I have. Like, one of my critiques about Dark Souls 1 is that it's got some kind of weird choices that I think were made as far as optimization goes. Like the locked frame rate thing. Fixed frame rate. Other things like that. I feel like Remastered helped with a bunch of them, but not perfectly. Getting used to controls. Now it's not sluggish. He's not sluggish now. Just a little teeny stuttery every once in a while, which I can absolutely hand. I'm going to try, because I like them, and I know others like them. I'm going to try and get stream avatars up and running and see if that affects performance significantly, and if so, we'll drop them for this stream until I can figure out a way to get stream avatars in Dark Souls to play nice. Because I have a feeling it was just the update. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how it is. Oh, you sneaky little... I also got a bunch of little programs that have decided to open themselves up in the background when I don't need them to. And if those are going to do that, then I should, in theory... Okay. Stream avatars is running, by the way. Now why isn't my controller working? Okay, click out. Click back in. Hello. What are you doing? Full screen. Let's see if my controller will kick in now. No, it won't. We'll shut it down and tune it back on. Move you off the screen. Oh, it's decided that a button's being pressed. 1 second. We're going to be having all of the shenanigans today. Don't drink the Estus. Why have you decided that your shield is always up? Okay. Alright, so now it's running, but Dark Souls has decided that some key is permanently being pressed. So let's close Dark Souls. Again. You can get closed. Stream Avatars is now up and running. Yeah. So to kind of like I actually know what was happening there. I use a Steam controller. I use a Steam controller because I have one and it works for the most part. And I just realized I have an Xbox One controller. What the hell am I doing? Let me clarify. My wife has an Xbox One controller, and I will apologize profusely to her. Probably make her breakfast if she doesn't want me using it, but this right here might have been to make a long story short, if you're not familiar with the Steam controller, it is really great for games that don't natively support controllers that you want to use a controller for. Which, like, I'm a big controller person. I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands. I like I like to sit in weird ways, just me being a little bit of an odd duck. Having a controller, generally, a lot easier. And if it comes down to like a simple strategy game where it's like keyboard, mouse, WASD, arrow key stuff, if I can use my controller, I'm going to use my controller. And the Steam controller is really great at adding, functionality to games that don't necessarily have it because of the mouse trackpad. And a few other cool little tricks to it. Like it can basically pretend to be any controller. So I actually really like it for those reasons. But on the same time, it also likes to run into shenanigans of like, because one's a trackpad, it can be weirdly oversensitive at times. And because it doesn't immediately read as a controller, it emulates a controller, it loves to decide occasionally when I've had to switch through things or start it up midway that a button is being pressed. And it will just send this input. And it can be any key, it can be any controller input. It's just whatever it decides, and I just work with it. Because it's just gonna be silly like that. Okay, yeah, the game was not closed using the quit menu last time. We were having issues. So yeah. Yeah, this is my wife's beautiful Xbox One controller. It's blue and gray, or like a very light blue and gray. And also, because people always ask, no, I don't have an Xbox One, I just have an Xbox One controller. Anyway. Oh, I didn't get a feel if it was experiencing lag or not.
Only
we'll find out at the Firelink
Shrine.
Shrine.
It is stated that one day an undead shall
so
be chosen.
Oh, this still has working rumble. Sorry, the controller rumbled on me and threw me off guard.
To leave
this controller's like 50 years old.
Asylum in pilgrimage.
10, but still.
To the land of the ancient lords.
This is from like
Lordran.
Early days of Steam controllers too. Sorry to talk over that. I'm still in way over here. My brain is in this random little area. We'll get focused in though. I got random songs stuck in my head from shows I've never seen before. You gotta go away, random chord. Okay. Now we can shenanigan. It's not as sluggish, but Stream Avatars is impacting it. I don't think enough that I care. But we know... Yeah. Yeah, this is playable. I'll close Stream Avatars if it gets bad. Or what do you think, guys and gals, non-binary pals? Moth, Flip. Close Stream Avatars and focus on Dark Souls, or let Stream Avatars live? What's our consensus? Do I know how to do polls? Isn't there a way to do polls? I don't know. Poll with 2 people. I like Stream Avatars, but I think closing it would be better in this case. That's kind of what I'm leaning to. I need to, like... This is the problem with Stream Avatars. Kill it? Okay. Stream Avatars gets to be killed. I think Stream Avatars might be a game-by-game basis, because I've been running into it a little bit with some games. I'm going to try to find ways to optimize it. Yeah. It's like immediately noticeable on my end. I don't know how noticeable it is on the stream, but just reactions already up. Okay. Do I want to talk to anybody? Probably should rest at the bonfire. Do I want to level up? I do want to level up. And people are going to be like, this is not optimal. I am aware it's not optimal. But there is optimal, and there is called, I need all my numbers to end in 5 or 0. And the 5 and 0 thing takes precedence. Okay. Everyone, I have fully beaten Dark Souls on the stream before, so I am not going to bother talking to every NPC this game through. For my own sanity, we're not going to do that. We're going to focus on getting through things. If there's an important NPC or someone you really want me to talk to, I will. I don't feel like talking to him either right now. Do I want to grab anything from Firelink? It's been a year. Hello, Raiders! Heavy Raid! Heavy! How are you doing with a party of 5, it looks like? Woo! Hello, Raiders! For any of those who do not know, assuming you're with Heavy, you probably are slightly familiar with me, but on the off chance that you are not, my name is Tadaffid, or Tada, or Daffy, or Bruce, or many other names. I'm a variety streamer, currently streams on Sundays and Wednesdays through Friday. Today we're playing a little bit of Dark Souls, which is a little bit of a new game. We've been running into some technical difficulties throughout the stream, so just be a little bit aware that it's been a bit sluggish, but I think we've mostly resolved those now. But anyway, hello! Can we get a shout out for Hebby in the chat? I'll get to it in just a second if no one else does. We're going to drop down here first, though. Thank you, Moth. Except at Twitch. Hello, Yuki. I fixed my PNG YouTuber. There we go. There's the Hebby shout out. Fixed my PNG YouTuber animations and no one redeemed it. What? I'm sorry to hear that. There we go, Hebby. They were playing Pal World. There's the discussion that we've had recently. I won't judge it too harshly for a game that I don't like. But it's good to see you, Hebby. It is your favorite streamer. Okay, bye. Thanks, Moth. Anyway, but yeah, we're just playing a little bit of Dark Souls today. Grabbing all the stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so how you doing beyond that? No one redeeming your beyond. No one redeeming your. Yeah. You won't judge me too hard either. Going to bed. Wanted to say hi. Of course, Yuki. Wonderful to see you. Okay. Oop, trying to remember. Ooh, this feels so much different on an Xbox controller. I've been using a Steam controller for so long. Do I want to deal with these guys? No, actually, I don't want to deal with these guys. So I won't deal with these guys. Let's go rest at the bonfire and get them to go away. We're still a little bit sluggish. I might need to restart now that I've killed stream avatars. The game, that is, not everything else. Overall, just a chill stream. Mostly spent time map exploring and upgrading a few base things. Well, that's not a bad way. Oh, you're too close to my bonfire. Let's see. Try practicing parrying him, or just get a backstabbing. And yeah, good night, Yuki. Thank you for swinging by. Yes, I was trying to get you to swing so I could try to parry you, but I guess you don't want to do that. You gotta sleep too? Gotta take Dad to doctor before work? Of course! Get yourself some rest. I really appreciate the raid. Thank you for swinging by, Hebby. Okay. There we go. But I wanted to bring my lurkers over for more chill. Well, thank you, Hebby. I always appreciate a little bit of a lurker delivery. And I think we're good and stable too here. I am gonna try to restart the game one last time. Just now that I've gotten whatever it's called, got stream avatars closed down. Because I think my app prioritization is off. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. Anyway. But yeah. And because we have some lurkers here and potentially someone new, I do want to just say really quick on my Pal World comments that I am not a fan of Pal World for numerous reasons. Hebby does, and Hebby is my friend, and I like and respect Hebby. So I will let them enjoy the things that they enjoy. But personally, this is a Pal World disappreciation channel because I don't think it's original. I think it is just Arc but stolen Pokemon assets. I think it's a little bit edgy for the sake of edgy. And I just think I know that there's a lot of hot topic about whether or not they use AI, but they are the owner of it. I did go online. He has said several little very pro AI things. So I am very much of the mindset that while they may or may not have used AI in Pal World, I would not put it past the developer to use AI in the future. So I'm not a fan of them as a development team. And let's be real, Craftopia, their prior game, was also very pushing the skirts of what counts as stolen assets. So that's my take on it. Not a fan of the developer, in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, it's not something that I will ever be giving the time of day to stream. Anyway, or own, or promote. Outside of me telling, closest thing is getting to promotions is what I'm doing right now, saying why I don't like it. Okay. Just making a couple last minute prioritization adjustments, and we will hopefully be off to a further uninterrupted stream. Speaking of opinions, do you want to continue on why you like Dark Souls? Why I like Dark Souls? There we go. To answer that one, easily, I like Dark Souls because it's a challenging game. My critique of Dark Souls 1 is sometimes I feel like it's challenging unintentionally rather than intentionally. But I still think it's a really good game still. I think it is itself challenging. I just think sometimes that's not okay. Two steps back. It is late and I am tired. Dark Souls 1 is a very well-made game that I enjoy. I feel like it doesn't get as much polish as the later Dark Souls games, but it is a gem in the rough itself. I really enjoy it. It's a complete game. I think top 10 of my favorite games of all times. Easily. My biggest critique is that I feel like there are certain things in Dark Souls 1 in particular that are difficult not because that was the goal, but because they weren't well designed. I think most of the difficulty comes from good game design. There's just a few little things like Blight Town, where I feel like the difficulty comes from the fact that it wasn't as polished or well designed. Still, though, fantastic game. Do really love it. But what I love about Dark Souls in particular, I'm going to talk about all the positives now. I just wanted to get my little caveat out there first, is that as a game franchise, it excels at almost finding a balance between an RPG and a rhythm game to where when I'm playing it, there are certain bosses that if you have the right like song in your head, you know almost the dance pattern that is fighting them, right? What your steps are: block 2-2, swing 2-2. Most of them are in 4. If we're going to be talking about it that way, most of them are in kind of a little bit more of a 4-4 time signature. I think Matt Pat did a theory video on it. It might have been Matt Pat, who's since retired, in Dark Souls. It might have been Elden Ring. Was it Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3? On Dancer of the Oriole Valley, was one of the few that are in more of a 3-4 time. But like, I'm a big musician. Yeah, thank you. And just, I'm not a big musician. Let me say fancy. I am big into music. I am an amateur musician, but that element in a game I just absolutely love the needing to pause, to take a step back, to think through your actions, the real consequences that come, not just from your mistakes, but just because things don't always go to plan, allowing you, sometimes you have to, think on your feet, sometimes it's just, oh, that's how the cookie crumbles. And I've always enjoyed that about Dark Souls. This is kind of like my meditative game. This is one of those games I love to play when I want to just kind of calm down and relax, not think about anything. Because once I get used to the rhythms of it, I'm kind of back into focus with it. It is just a matter of repetition. And getting that rhythm down. So, here we go. Which one's kick? Is this kick? It's kick. Okay. Doesn't really matter either way, because he's already gotten close to me. I forgot how much I enjoy playing a knight just for the sheer, armor value. If you're new to Dark Souls, by the way, if it's not a game that you've ever played before, and you're wondering which class to take, Knight is a good one for the environment, but in my opinion, a bad one for bosses. And what I mean by that is bosses in here tend to rely a little bit more on being quick on your feet, on being able to dodge roll. Ooh, almost walked right off the edge. And while this gives you, a non-boss, an extra hit or two before you really feel the effects, when it comes to fighting bosses, you're going to notice that sluggish roll right there, that heavy roll. So I actually don't recommend Pyromancy for a first-time player. It is really strong later on, but it is definitely a little underpowered in the beginning, in my opinion. You just don't get a lot of upgradability with it. It kind of does this. It's decent, and then it drops, and then it really picks up. And you got some really powerful combinations with Pyromancy due to a lot of things lack of flame resistance. And if you want to, I think both Faith and Sorcery builds, if you're familiar with RPG build mechanics and you know how to put your stuff into Intelligence, or is it Wisdom? Faith? One of those two respectively. I think it's Faith for Cleric. Those can be really good if you're familiar with it. If you're entirely new to RPGs, stick with good old Bandit or Warrior. Get yourself a weapon that you like how it moves. Get used to dodging. Get a decent shield, I think the wooden shield, and just start from there. Oh, and there we go. First death of the stream. I will, because this is going to be a series game. This is going to be something that we're going to be playing every week. I will have a death counter, because that entertains me. I'm not going to bother recording the cause of every death. Yeah, hardest balls in Dark Souls, jumping, absolutely. Yeah, I won't be having it. I was going to hopefully have it up for the stream, but both my kids are sick, so my time today was a little bit limited. It was actually quite impressive that I managed to get this overlay out. But yeah, so until then, there's the one. I got a little tally sheet, and I will update that. If people really want a death counter with cause of death, I can maybe whip out a spreadsheet, because I do happen to have an unnatural enjoyment of spreadsheets. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how many times I die this stream. That's what will determine if a spreadsheet is worth it. Because if I die a bunch of times, that's going to be a lot more work. But if I only die a couple times, well, yeah, a spreadsheet's not too bad. Okay, let's grab my souls. Yeah. That's how you kick. I was trying to remember how to kick. It's shield up, forward, tap. There we go. The controls are slowly coming back to me. Maybe you can be the one that we can get an experiment with a kick with. There we go. Okay. Let's do a little test jump. Okay. And here we go. Okay. Shield up to go around the edges. Grab the Ring of Sacrifice. Shield up to go around the edges. I just find it easier to steer when my shield's up. I need to play more Dark Souls Remastered. Absolutely! I bet you'd be pretty good at this game. Look at myself all beef jerky and armor. I'm armored jerky. Sir Armored Jerkington. And here we go. You don't think you've gotten far? You know about where's you got about you know about where's? Woof. I promise I speak English. It's in fact my first language and the only one I speak fluently. Do you know about where you got before? Apparently I'm dual-wielding. Anyway. Oh, I'll let you know once we get there. Sounds good. I'm actually a little curious. Did either of you get a warning today that this was going to be a mature stream? Because I did not flag it. Oh, you need to restart because you have to by hitting a dude? Oh. You don't know? Do you remember if you got a little warning flip? I had a little icon show up on my, oh, there's a fire guy. I should take care of the fire guy first. I had an icon that I haven't ever had before that was like, this is a mature game. Yeah. Because normally there's a mature audience filter, and I don't normally turn it on because I'm a family-friendly stream. I keep things PG-13. I don't cuss on stream. You know, all that sort of thing. I don't really cuss in real life either, to be entirely honest. That's beside the point. I cuss when I text. I should clarify that. I know I have a bit of a mouth when I'm messaging people sometimes. It's beside the point. Doesn't count if I'm not speaking. But yeah, like so I don't turn the mature filter on. I'm aware that this is an M-rated game, and I'm aware that it's a little bit dark. I had a little pop-up in OBS that said this is a mature game. You need to like be aware of that. And I don't know if I'm supposed, like, if it wants me to manually turn it on. Because I've never turned it on because, like, I let my kids watch me play this. And my kids are young. And in my opinion, there is nothing in this game that is too dark and heavy for my kids, with a parent there to, like, talk them through and talk about it. Might be some people who disagree with me on that. That's kind of how slightly how I feel about it. My kids are cultured, exactly. That doesn't mean that there isn't media that my kids aren't allowed to watch. I will say, and this is a little bit of a parenting fail here from Tadafi that you're about to hear about, that might have been discussed on stream before. Me and my wife were looking at movies that put on for our kids. And without realizing the intensity of it, put on Grave of the Fireflies. We thought because it was a Ghibli, it would be relatively calm. But no, Grave of the Fireflies is a very, very heavy movie. And as far as my kids go, my youngest daughter, it was too over her head. But my oldest daughter, there was a lot to talk about. I do think ultimately in the end, having talked it through, it actually put her in a better place. But that is absolutely not a movie to put on for your kids. It's one of those things where, like, the world can really suck. The Cat Returns is phenomenal. And, like, that's what I thought. I knew it was a movie with a heavier topic. And we don't shelter our kids from heavier topics. If there's something going on in the world that is bad, we will tell our kids about it to, like, an appropriate level of detail. And because it was Ghibli, I made the assumption, hey, this is going to be absolutely, like, kid levels of processing. It's not. It is a very intense movie. I wouldn't actually call it graphic, per se. There's not a lot of blood, but it's about World War II and the firebombing of Japan. And it's one of the movies. The main characters, spoilers here for a very old movie, the kids die. They don't survive to the end of the movie. And it's not played up with a lot of, like, happy tones, or there's not really like a Chronicle of Narnia, oh, they've all died, but hey, here they are in the afterlife, kind of like try to frame it positive ending. It's very much made as, it's not Hayao Miyazaki, it's the other one I always forget the name of, I believe. He's very anti-war, and this is meant to be a movie to go, hey, this is the reality of war and what war does to civilians, specifically kids, and how they are affected and the terrible things that they have to go through. Similar with the movie The Breadwinner. If you've ever seen The Breadwinner, also a movie about how war and conflict affect civilians, especially kids. Both of those are phenomenal movies. And I think for, in particular, a teenager who is first wanting to see the world, would be a fantastic place to start, like a teenager with proper tools. Like, hey, this is going to be a heavy movie, heavy topic, but here is how we're going to show you what things are like when you come from a very sheltered place. It's a really great movie franchise for that, both Breadwinner and Grave of the Fireflies. Not for kids who don't have the processing to understand, I guess, really conceptualize what death is. Especially mass death. Because for them, it's simply as a process of, is character okay? No, they're not. Like, they don't have the concept of death, so it's just, they can't process it. And in the case of when we put that movie on for my kids, not knowing, again, my youngest one was young enough that it kind of just, it's gone. She's kind of forgot that it's there. Doesn't remember any of it. But my oldest one, like, we had to do the processing for her. And be able to talk her through and walk her through what happened. And we didn't sugarcoat anything, because I believe it's really important that kids, like, know the history of things. Especially, like, with a movie like Grave of the Fireflies, because America's the bad guys in that movie, in a way. Like, America's the one who did the firebombing, and it really paints that in that light. So it kind of causes you to take a step back and go, this thing that we did wasn't good. It hurt a lot of people. And that is something that a lot of kids just aren't ready for the are we the baddies discussion. And there's a lot of nuance, like, when it gets, like, I'm a historian. There's a lot of nuance when it comes to talking World War II. in... nuance is the wrong word. America doesn't like to talk about World War II in a very realistic way. We like to talk about it in this rose-colored, we were the good guys who swept in and saved everything. Because, and like, we can just be kind of blunt about this. I'm trying to think, I don't know how YouTube does, or Twitch does with monetization. There was some very specific horrific things happen in World War II. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna say this, monetization filters be digged. When you're talking about the literal Nazis and the Holocaust of World War II, it is very easy for all of the other things that other countries did, including allies like America, to just be put on the back burner. Because there was something that is so clearly bad that we can all agree is bad, that it can focus on that. And a lot of times the focus really needs to be there, but at the same time, if we're going to talk about war, there needs to be nuance and understanding. There wasn't really good guys. There's not really good guys in war. There's aggressors and victims. And sometimes they can be both. And sometimes they can be neither. And it's like everything that we like to point the finger on and say, hey, World War II Germany was doing this terrible thing, most likely America was too, to an extent. And if we only focus on the good things that we did, you know, the liberation of concentration camps and stuff like that, we fail to acknowledge what led to those situations in the first place and how some of them began in our own country. And so we're just having like deep historical lessons here. For me, there's always this moment of, if I'm going to be telling my kids about a historical fact, I'm going to try to tell them the history of what happened with as little propaganda as I possibly can. Even if that makes it heavier. Anyway, that's the end of my little ramble on history and wars and all of that. Sorry to get heavy topic. Dark Souls apparently brings out the heavy topics in me today. Like, I'll actually bookend this with a real quick thing. My best advice, and I'm always open to discuss these kind of things. I try to keep heavy political topics off stream. I'm bad at it, but I try to. I'm usually up to him a little bit more like a DM, but I'll just say, first thing that you can genuinely do is just look up something and read it from as many different reputable sources as you can. Especially sources that are going to cover potential blind spots in each other. Okay. We're gonna play this game. Spent a lot of time here grinding. This is probably one of the places that I've also just spent the most time grinding. I'm a little bit curious. I usually end up liking spears. Parrying is the best thing in the world. Okay. Worse strength, better dex scaling. How much of a decrease? 82 to 80. It also weighs more. What's this moveset like? I like spears because I can keep my shield up while I stab with them. heavy's got some reach on it, too. We're gonna try it. The only problem that I usually find with spears is... It's why, like, it depends on the video game. It's why I usually prefer, like, a glaive or a halberd. I like something that has both a thrust and a slash. And I like to have a little bit of reach, because I like to be able to stand back and watch what's going on. But it really depends on how a game implements them. Anyway, Dark Souls is fun, but I'd probably find it more enjoyable if I had someone who was very knowledgeable, wise about it with me while I play. I definitely think that Dark Souls becomes more fun when you have someone who has knowledge base to share with you. I would definitely be inclined to agree with that.
You seem to have your wits. Then you are a will. I trade for...
Skipping through dialogue, what do you got? Residence key. I want the bottomless box. I should be clever. I need the bottomless box. I don't think any of your armor is... If I remember, none of the armor is actually worth, like, 2 cents. Not even remotely worth using. I will grab the residence key, but I do want that repair box.
Hey, what's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. I've just already bought everything that I need from you. Okay. I'm going to be using his steeled so much, I'm really going to want to build up that stamina. Ladders. I can't remember. Flip, you said you've done a fair bit of Dark Souls, right? Yes. What's your go-to weapons and build? Do you have a preference? Oh, hello. Dark Souls with halberd. So you're pretty much similar to me. I'll probably literally get the halberd. I'll probably literally switch to the halberd as soon as I get it. And get the stats to one hand at halberd and shield. I can't remember, are there any special halberds in Dark Souls 1 that are worth getting? Nothing comes to mind. I know I've used the Gargoyle's Axe like a halberd, but it's technically a great axe. I know I've done that before. But I know I've definitely sunk hours into just your box standard halberd. Quite a few of them. If you infuse it with crystal, it gets really OP, but you have to watch durability. That is fair. I usually prefer to go for like a little bit of elemental damage. Like either fire or lightning. especially if I have a little bit of synergy to go with it. Well, actually, does like, I can't remember. Oh, it's been too long. Infusing things does affect, like, giving it lightning damage, for example, does give you like a faith scale on it, doesn't it? I'm not going crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know I used to like to go with fire or lightning, but I can't remember. I think in Dark Souls 1 or 2. I think it's Dark Souls 2 when fire scales off both your faith and intelligence. Infusing strongly. Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking about fire in specific. Is the one that I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna restore my humanity. Oh, I need a humanity to kindle. I'll grab a humanity first. You use this. This is one of the bonfires that's like absolutely worth kindling, in my opinion, especially early on. Just so you can get them 10 Estus flasks whenever you rest here. Do I want to... I want to save up souls. I want to save up enough souls for the repair box. I'm going to do a quick little souls grind here. I just apologize to everyone who's bored by that, but it shouldn't take me too long. I want to get the repair box before I move on, just so that I have it. Because then I always tend to forget things, and I'll be like, where is that repair box that I needed? Oh yeah, it's back in Blighttown. Or Undead Bird, not Blighttown. Whoa. Lag spike. Am I getting invaded? I have no idea how lively the servers are. Because they had so much server outage last time. Did I just earn a humanity? I just earned a humanity. Oh well, I'll take the extra luck. Oh, is it? Does Andre? If Andre sells it too, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to level up and keep going. I don't think I've ever bought it from Andre. You learn something new every day. Yeah, we'll get strength up to 5 first. Oh, actually, this has better dex scaling. So we'll get dex up to 15 first. Oh, sorry. Oh, I sneezed into my eyes. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yep. There we go. We leveled up. We'll get to Andre. I'm still getting like little lag spikes, but it's completely manageable. Why am I going this way? The first time I played, I accidentally hit the first blacksmith because I forgot the controls. Oh, so there is, in the bell tower after you defeat the gargoyles. We have to defeat the gargoyles first. There's a man named, is it Oswald? Oswald the Practitioner? Cannot remember his name. There's a dude who stands there basically T-posing. You can pay him and he resets hostility. He doesn't bring people back to life, if I remember correctly. And I don't think people come back to life. Oh, this is like one of those niche things because I haven't played it in over a year. I don't think people. If you kill an NPC in here, are they dead? Or are they just permanently hostile? And keep coming back. I know that there's a hollowingness. Dead. Okay. That's what I thought, but my brain was telling me I might not be entirely correct. Because I know he didn't bring people back from the dead, because I know that there is a way... Yeah. But no, if they're just hostile, they're not dead, he can bring them back. Or he will pardon you of it. Although if you accidentally hit him, I believe you are SOL. You also hit the religious dude at the beginning and it took me forever to kill him. Yeah. Does that open from... I knew it. I know. Why did I try to open that? I knew it didn't open from this side. Having a senior moment there. The button's near this again. So you've played... are you playing on Switch, or are you playing on... You'd have to be on Switch, from what I know about your console situation. Yeah. I don't know how the Switch controls for this game are. I will say, I did spend like the entire first part of this stream getting used to the controls again, because I've been playing so many smaller games where attack was X rather than a trigger or bumper. Pickle lunge. And then little stab. And then I get a firebomb. And then we go deal with these yahoos. Oh, that's one way to get him down. Oh, ad break. It didn't... Why? Okay. So I get the notification at the beginning that there was going to be ads, but it did not give me the notification about the ad break starting now. This is a terrible game for ad breaks too, because I can't actually... We'll loot this guy, and then we'll grab... Do I want to take an Estus? Probably. Yeah, I'll do an Estus. Just to have that extra little cushion. Do I want any other items here? I do want some fire bombs. Let's go deal with the guy who didn't die but did fall. He's probably just standing here confused. Hello. Okay. Moth, flip. Did either of you get ads? Are you still here? No? Okay. You are... I figured you're both subs. Yeah. Moth is what? Well, listen, I had subs who were getting ads last stream. So that's why I asked. I was like, is it working as it's supposed to, or are we having weird shenanigans again? I'm going to save that for the Capra Demon. Because the Capra Demon always gets my goat. And I'm way too proud of myself for that one. Hello, friend. What brings you here? Yes, really? You walk so slow despite having just the shield. You could walk so much faster. Look, I won't even have my shield out. I'll just wait here patiently for you to do the first move. Anyway. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Is this song copyrighted? Thank you for the raid. Where are you hiding? There you are. Hello! Are we gonna bow? Oh, he's gonna toxic me first. Hello. Yeah. This feels a little overpowered. I mean, I'm just gonna have fun here. I mean, like, at this point I know I'm gonna die.
Thank you.
Yep. Hold a message.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna... Moth, do you have mod ability? Can you allow that word? Twinked is fine. I mean, like, I'm toxic. There's nothing I can do about toxic, even, if I wanted to, so... No. But... I can in a sec. Yeah, he's just gonna do this. We're gonna have fun. It twinked. Fully twinked armor. Which I'm assuming you're referring to in Twinkling Titanite. Here, I'm just gonna use this as a chance to just nice enjoy. He can finish me off. And we will allow the word twinked. So it's not a bad word in English. It's an LGBT word is what it's reading it as. I don't know. I'm assuming if you're probably slightly aware of the LGBT community. From people low level having fully upgraded armor and Estus. I wasn't familiar with the term in there. But yeah, twink refers to a usually skin, often more feminine gay man in English. And so when it says the term twinked, I think it's reading it for that. We'll see if we got a seam stripper. Yeah. And I would say not in an offensive sense. Like, you could call someone a twink offensively, but it's not an inherently offensive word. Like, most of the gay people I know would actually be quite flattered to be called a twink because it implies that they're thin and attractive. But at the same time, it's probably just flagged it like... It flagged the word, I think, boudoir the other day as well. Like, it flags weird things. So, yeah. And now, everyone can say twinked, and it won't be flagged as a bad word. It's because this auto mod just has an abundance of caution. Twink appreciative. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have personally never seen a situation where twink was meant as a derogatory term. Personally. Anyway, I don't have enough viewers for it to have been, probably have been a stream sniper at the moment. Because I have had those playing Dark Souls before. But we'll see. He might just be camping the area too. So we'll have to see. I find the best way to deal with that is just, what's the word? Sorry. I got in the zone there for a second. The best way to deal with those kind of like, I'm going to use the phrase trolly behavior, is just, in my opinion, just, whatever. The DSP is really bad, but it doesn't factor in a lot of upgrades. That's why I love these. Yes, exactly. They're straight. Yeah. We're going to add that to the death counter. Yeah. My thing is, like, I don't get angry at Dark Souls anyway. Like, if you get joy, I turned my volume up too much there. If you get joy by winning a fight that is zero skill, like if jumping into servers and crushing noobs or using shenanigans like that brings you joy, that's weird. You probably should talk to a therapist, but it doesn't grind my gears. Like, you're not making my experience any worse. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, oh congratulations, I died, obviously. You want a trophy? It's the equivalent of, like, you swat a fly that's been refrigerated. It's not impressive. If it makes you happy, I guess. Like, I guess, sure, kill me over and over again. I don't really care. If you're doing it for rage baiting, then we have issues. You're not going to get me angry, but that's just kind of like... Why? Do you not have something better to do? Like, is your life really that sad and lonely that the most joy that you can extract is winning very obvious fights? Like, go put Skyrim on God mode or something. Like, if that's what you want to get your jimmies down, or whatever terms people would use. People are still gonna do it. Like, it's not gonna stop them. I'm just like, what's the point? What did you prove? Like, yeah. I guess the best way to put it is, killing noobs doesn't prove you're a good player. It just always makes me think that you're not good enough to fight actual good players. Like, you're so bad at the game that the only way that you can justify playing it is fighting people who have no chance against you. And it's just weird. Anyway. I will say, though, his name, I am not opposed. Okay. Obviously, if you were able to read his name, he had an adult word in it. Which I'm debating about. It's a word that I would absolutely say if I wasn't streaming. But I'm debating about saying on stream. I'm not going to say it on stream. It was red and it rhymed with Bilbo. That's all you need to know if you didn't quite catch it. But, like, I'm slightly tempted about doing a spreadsheet now, though, just so that I can have one of my deaths be that. Or death by Twink. Bilbo Baggins, yeah. No, we're going to put death by Twink. We have death by falling, death by Twink. So there are 2 deaths this stream. And in this case, Twink appreciative. Death by Twink appreciative. I'm slightly surprised that got past the word filter on Dark Souls 1, to be honest, now that I think about it, because doesn't From Software have like a notorious... Or am I thinking of a different game? Also, just real quick, I believe very much in destigmatizing topics and conversations around, like, adult matters. The reasons why I'm hesitant to say that word on stream is because I don't know Twitch's policy to contents. Oh, no, not Twink. Not Twink. And Twinked. I'm talking about his name. Yeah. The Invader username, yeah. We're good. You're good. I was just like, bit of an odd name. Okay. See if I can do this. It's been a while. I'm way out of practice. I feel like they made it more forgiving than it's been in the past. Anyway. Parrying is one of the few things that I've always been okay with in Dark Souls. And I just find those guys are easier to beat if I just stand there and parry them than trying to figure out their shenanigans. Boost defense when HP is low. Might as well. Anyway. Hidden path ahead. Okay. Whee! I'm flying. I usually like to have more Estus flasks going into the... I've got a lot of souls. Oh, too early. There we go. I find these guys harder to parry than the Black Knight because they're not as consistent on their swing speed. I'm going to be going back to the bonfire, just FYI. I'm just going to see if I can get the lizard first. Which barrels here? Is he not in a barrel? I could have sworn the lizard was in a barrel. Oh, there's more barrels. Jump, 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 jump. Okay. Got it. And now I'm going to go back to the bonfire. Just rest. Just because I'd like to have at least, like, 5 Estus Flasks going into the sky. He's not the hardest fight, but I'd rather be prepared, so might as well go level up a little bit. Come back with full Estus Flasks. Okay. So, let's get that up to 15. Strength up a little bit, too. Not bad. We're going to get strength up to 15. We're going to get faith up to 15. And then I'm probably going to put a bunch in endurance. And then probably just start to level up strength and dex enough. So I get to the point that I can, well, restore my humanity. I have the humanity. Might as well use it. Oh, actually, I might be able to get another level if I look at my... Do I have any crystal souls, as it were? Yeah, that's a decent amount, isn't it? Oh, it's only 200. I thought that was worth a lot more. Oh, well. Because I've had this guy sneak up behind me a couple times. I'm going to just make sure that he's aggroed in. I'm not resting, but actually I'm going to step in here just for a second. Did I pick up a better shield? Okay, well now I'm resting because I accidentally hit the wrong button. That's beside the point. Okay. Shield. I do have the wooden shield. Which is, yeah, the wooden shield is one of my favorites for weight to physical damage reduction. But I'm going to be sticking with the 100% digital physical damage reduction. Just because 100 is good. And I now have enough to level up, coincidentally. It wasn't my intention. I wasn't going to do that, but it works. Bum bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum. Okay. I'm not doing great, apparently. So I was like, I'm going to try some two-handing weapons, because I don't normally do that. That's why I don't normally do that. I like hiding behind my shield. Oh, but we got it back, so we're doing fine. How y'all still doing? You still hanging out, doing okay? Anything interesting happening out there? Yeah. Cooking any good food today, Moth? Or flip flip for that matter, if you're cooking any good food. You found something funny but you can't say it in the stream? What? Is it inappropriate? A really nice food with my sister yesterday. Nice! If you don't mind me asking, what kind? Ah, it's personal life stuff. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Don't be sharing all that on stream for no reason. So to describe it in English, it was an Asian dish with pork, some Asian veggies, and rice. Okay. Sounds like a pretty good staple. Pretty good standard spread of veggies there. I don't know enough about Asian cuisine to hazard a guess as to what it might have been. Heck, even veggies over rice are pretty good. I had burgers myself today, which was nice. Little homemade smash burgers and oven French fries. Yesterday I made lightly pan-fried tilapia, and we just had some Cape Cod potato chips with it, which is also one of my favorites. Guyana also knows Chinese broccoli. Interesting. I don't know that one offhand. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm always a fan of trying new fruit or veg. Spear's greatest weakness seems to be stairs. If I'm being entirely honest. Does this have a death tracker in here? I'm curious. Doesn't. I think we're going to be going in with like 7 Estus flasks. That's not bad. It's a good thing with this too is the Majula death counter. Oh, it was one of my favorite things. I can live with 7 Estus flasks. Oh. That wasn't nice. I think we talked about this flip. You're German, aren't you? Or at least from Germany? Live in Germany? Yeah. From Germany, there is a German dish that I cannot remember the name of. And it has been bothering me. And it is like little teeny noodles like eggy noodles. Usually served with kind of like a cream of gravy-y sauce. But I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. Yes! I think that's what it was. Spatzel. Spatzel. It's a little side. It is one of my favorite, just simple little sides. When, like, served with, like... Well, I had it was with, like, some nice fresh baked bread and, some really good sausages when I last had it, but... It's one of my favorite little comfort foods, but I haven't been able to find it out, here in Massachusetts. I'm assuming that it is. I just haven't found it yet. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're allergic to egg. Ooh, he actually got a hit on me. I'm gonna have to get in there. Okay. He's taking things personally. Okay. Oh, I knew it was gonna happen before I could do anything. I'm like, he'd positioned me, and I could see that it was gonna happen, but I'm like, oh, I can't correct fast enough. Okay. And that's the third death of the stream. And that one sucks. I normally can beat him on the first go. That's okay. So let's see, we have one from Fall, one from Twink, one from Bull pushing me off edge. I don't have a clever name from that. Me off edge. I do know the plunge attack cheese for him. I have never... I'm not great with plunge attacks. And I always seem to trigger the very rare time that he will... Because he will jump up onto those towers. And, like, just for whatever reason, I have the worst luck. Like, he jumps almost instantly when I'm trying to do the plunge attack cheese. And I've never been able to get it to work quite right. So I just prefer the running right up into his personal bubble cheese that I was doing there. Like, I would have 100% had that fight had he not pushed me off the edge, which is fair. But he beat me by pushing me off the edge. That is a loss. I don't feel cheated, but yeah. His form normal fight is also more fun. Yeah. No, I enjoy it. He's one of the easier fights he's one of those fights that I've done so many times now that it's just kind of very much the routine. The ones that still trip me up the most thinking about them are the Capra Demon. It's just the narrow room with the two wolves. Once they get the wolves out of the picture, he isn't bad. Like the wolf dog things. Once they're out of the picture, he's not too bad of a fight. But just every time. And the Gaping Demon the Gaping Dragon also trips me up a fair bit. Most of the other fights are just kind of whatever. Down we go. Yeah, it's delicious. It's a very 'cause, like, it's one of those foods. 'Cause my oldest daughter has autism. He's autistic. I don't know if there's much difference between saying it either way. I'm sure someone will watch my stream who has nothing to do with autism and correct me, because I always love to do that. Either way, neurodivergent family here. I'm schizophrenic. My daughter has autism. Whatever you want to put it. But yeah, it's one of those foods that I can get her to eat because it's like texture consistent, not too mushy. But yeah. Obviously, it's an egg noodle though, so if you have an egg allergy, it doesn't do too good. It's the first time I ever pulled off a successful plunge attack. Yeah. When I was growing up in Utah, I've heard someone comparing it to American mac and cheese. Is that accurate? I would say, okay. Flavor-wise, absolutely not. Texture-wise, similar wheelhouse. It's a nice, al dente, chewy kind of pasta with a creamy sauce. And that gives a very mac and cheese texture, depending on how you cook the noodles for mac and cheese. In my opinion, if you cook mac and cheese properly, it'd be an accurate enough comparison. Mac and cheese is usually very cheddar. It's a little bit pungent. It can, well, it's not necessarily pungent. It can lean into the cheesiness, like that kind of slight little, the very mild funk from a cheddar. Versus Spätzle, when I've had it, is very just smooth, creamy, much more to a simple bechamel than or like a cream of over rice. Doesn't usually have that kind of like the cheesiness that mac and cheese does. But texture-wise, spot on. To like pot-style mac and cheese, not like baked. Baked mac and cheese is its own thing. But yeah. Queso Spätzle looks more like mac and cheese. Considering that just means cheese Spätzle, I'm assuming so. I have never heard of... yeah. Is it Queso Spätzle? It's been a while since I had my German classes here. I believe it's Queso Spätzle, that's how that'd be pronounced. But the umlauts throw me for a loop, because I always forget umlaut pronunciation. Because the problem is, English is so inconsistent. Sharper. Oh yeah, I have a lisp, though. We're not ever going to get the pronounced correctly. It's a miracle I can say it at all. I'm not gonna let you knock me off the edge this easily again. I know why I thought schnitzel. Yes. So the reason why, I can actually tell you why that is. Yeah. Because schnitzel is very similar to like what we would call country fried steak. The reason why you assumed it was a sausage is because of the restaurant Wiener Schnitzel. This is a common phenomenon that I've talked to a lot of people about. Yeah. For context, because I'm assuming Flip doesn't know what that is. The restaurant, I'm assuming they know what Schnitzel is. Wiener Schnitzel is an American restaurant that sells hot dogs. Just hot dogs. And has nothing whatsoever to do with schnitzel. In the slightest. But yeah. They're one of those places I loved to go as a kid. I don't think the food was any good, I just liked the name. Because it had a Z in it. Or it didn't have a Z, like it had the... It wasn't a Z. Like, the schnitzel was a cool word, so I was like, I want to go there! Mm. Okay. Okay. Got him. Wiener Schnitzel is Austria, and I think Schnitzel originated from Austria, so Wiener Schnitzel is literally the name of the dish Schnitzel here. There you go. What kind of American food are there? That's a good question, actually. Is there any food that you would consider distinctly American that you've had? Because the thing about, like, American cuisine is we steal from everyone. So, like, when I think of American, I think, not quite sure what would count as American food. And that's, like, the hard thing. Because, like, burgers, which we call hamburgers, are actually obviously named off the city of Hamburg, is just a ground meat patty that we started sticking on a bun because that was easier to carry around. Same with hot dogs. We just started taking a hot dog or a bratwurst from usually German-American immigrants, stuck it on a bun, called it an American dish. Pizza is kind of an Italian dish, and then we Americanized it. Chinese food, like Panda Express, very much Americanized Chinese food. Because, like, America doesn't really have a cuisine of its own, because we haven't really... Because, like, culturally... Like Coca-Cola, yeah, like, maybe that. Like, culturally what happened with America is because we have a bunch of European people who colonized America. They just brought European cuisine with them and then just started stealing from everyone else. So, like, American cuisine doesn't really exist, it's just our take on things. But here it tastes different in America. As someone who's had both German and American, yes. The recipes are slightly different. But yeah, that's the kind of thing. Like, if you have Chinese food in Germany, it's going to be different than Chinese food in America. Definitely different than Chinese food in England, whatever they're doing with their Chinese food. I still judge my English relatives hard for that one. But it's like also, this is the weird thing about food. Like, tikka masala If you've ever had tikka masala, it's a curry dish. Most people would call it Indian. It's Scottish. It's a dish that was invented in Scotland based off of dishes from India because of colonization. Yeah. Have to adapt, especially the older people are very picky. Yeah. I will say, because I mentioned Spätzle, one of my other favorite German dishes is just. I don't know if this counts as a German dish, but I've only seen this. This is not an American thing, and it's one of my favorite lunches to this day. Slice of bread, butter, cold cuts. Like not a sandwich, just an open slice of bread with butter on it and a bunch of cold cuts, like salami, bologna, like whatever your cold cuts are. Sliced cured sausages on a piece of bread with butter. It's one of my favorite quick snacks ever. And I learned about it from my German friends. It was something that they ate regularly. Oh, buffalo wings are something that I would actually argue is uniquely American. Not uniquely American, but at least probably more prone to an American food. We eat that for breakfast and dinner. Generally, we eat a lot of bread. Yeah. Bread, meats, beer. It's like whenever I talk to people in German, bread, meat, beer, and cheese. It's like the 4 German food groups. Not to be rude to Germans, but yeah. Do you like spicy food? So, on context, yeah. Corn dogs are delicious. Corn dogs, if you aren't familiar with them, it's just a sausage breaded in corn in a cornbread batter, basically. I actually really like it with honey. Like you put honey over the corn dog, and then you dip that in like ketchup or mustard or whatever, like general sausage condiments. Delicious. You might have been familiar with that, but buffalo wings hold a special place in my heart. Buffalo wings are delicious. It's fried chicken. I actually prefer my fried chicken in like strips or tenders rather than like the actual wings. Call me a heathen if you want, but I do. But yeah, it's breaded fried chicken, and then buffalo sauce is basically hot sauce and butter combined. So it makes a very creamy, rich hot sauce. And it's usually paired with ranch, which is like a seasoned buttermilk dressing, or blue cheese dressing. And they are really good. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things of all time is actually a chicken sandwich, like a breaded chicken patty, with covered in buffalo sauce with coleslaw and a little bit of ranch on it. One of my favorite sandwiches. Um, biscuits and gravy is another good. Biscuits and gravy is a bit of Southern food. No. This is where I don't know what Germany defines a biscuit as. Because there's 2 kinds of biscuits. You had to Google? Yeah. Biscuits, when we're talking American biscuits, are a savory scone. Like English scone would be the closest thing that I can think. It's a flaky layer bread that's buttery and delicious. And it's buttery and delicious. It's not a cookie. But yeah, and then you just top it with like a very pepper heavily sausage gravy. Learning about foods invented in America. Lol. Yeah. Tabasco's American. Yeah.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow. Far from it.
S'mores are good. It's
I am
solar.
Mayor of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land.
One
the
moment.
birthplace
I
of
need to
Lord
check
Gwyn,
something.
to seek my very own son. Do you find that strange? Well,
Okay.
you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
We played this game. I have talked to Soler, but I'm going to talk over him because we don't know what Slovak says. Because I need to chime in with Caesar salad too. Kinda. Caesar salads are like American Mexican. A little bit. Depends on how you cut it. And not really either. They're named after a man named Caesar who ran a restaurant, I believe, in Tijuana, Mexico. Mostly attended by American celebrities. If I'm remembering my lore correctly. No. Caesar salad refers to the dressing more than anything else. Because Caesar dressing is a type of dressing, which is a because you don't necessarily, chicken is usually served along with like a very simple croutons and a very simple like usually green salad mix, like usually a romaine. Some people get very specific as what needs to be in a Caesar, but ultimately it's the dressing, which is a savory dressing. Most people don't know it actually has anchovies in it, but it's like egg, mayo. It's like basically egg, oil, vinegar, anchovies, and a couple other seasonings that makes it kind of creamy, savory dressing. That, yeah, that's what makes it a Caesar, is the Caesar salad dressing. And traditionally, like, croutons, I think it's just croutons, lettuce, and chicken. I don't think you usually have cheese on it, but a lot of places will put, like, a shredded cheese on it. But yeah, Caesar refers to the dressing. And technically, it's weird. Like, the lore around Caesar salads gets confusing. And I'm pretty sure Banana Fosters are German. Or not German, are English. Could be wrong about that. I can tell you that German chocolate cake in America is not German. German chocolate cake is named after a man named, his last name was German. Oh, things about went really badly right there.
Oh, aha.
We're okay.
I didn't scare you.
My blood pressure
I
just
have a
jumped.
proposition. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
So chocolate chip cookies.
Eat greatly.
Welcome to the fact of the world of things that I know. Chocolate chip cookies are Massachusetts state cookie as well because of
We are
this.
amidst the flow
And
of
yes, we do have a
things
state
that
cookie.
must but use to some
And I'll get
engage
into
the
a fun
whole
fact about that
but
in a moment here. Skipping through this dialogue. Yes. They're really good. I really like buffalo wings. If you like spicy food, I do really like buffalo wings. But chocolate chip cookies are, so it was invented by, I forget her name, but it was at the Toll House Inn in Massachusetts. And she was writing a recipe book, and the TLDR of it is in the original recipe. She was going to use one chocolate, but then she didn't have it. So she ended up using Nestle chocolate, like Nestle chocolate chips. And because of this, the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie was born. Which is why if you ever see the Nestle Toll House cookie dough or Nestle chocolate chips, and it's like they have the recipe for the chocolate chip cookies, because that is the original. That was the lady who invented it. That was the recipe that she published. They are delicious, and we all know I have very strong opinions about Nestle, due to the continued. They're one of the most problematic chocolate companies when it comes to it. But yeah, that's the OG chocolate chip cookie, was the Nestle Toll House. That Nestle kind of has full ownership over that brand now. The Toll House Inn also does not exist anymore. But yeah, just basically she makes chocolate chip cookies in. The story goes that because she expected them to melt through the dough. I don't actually think that's entirely correct. I think that's a little bit of like folk legend at this point. Thinking that it would melt through. Either way, chocolate chip cookies are divine. But in Massachusetts wanted to have a state cookie. And I absolutely love the story about Massachusetts getting a state cookie. Because basically what happens is we're deciding on having a state cookie. And the governor at the time, who was Governor Bill Weld. If you don't recognize the name, Governor Bill Weld is notable for one other thing in global political history. He is the guy who ran with Gary Johnson on the Libertarian Party ticket in 2016 for president. Beyond that, Bill Weld was governor of Massachusetts. And it came to him to pick a state cookie for Massachusetts. Knowing that Massachusetts invented the chocolate chip cookie, Bill Weld naturally decided that the best cookie for Massachusetts state cookie was the Fig Newton. Because Fig Newtons were also invented here, and he thought, I really like Fig Newtons. We're going to make the state cookie Fig Newtons. If you don't know what a Fig Newton is, disappointment. A Fig Newton is disappointment. It's a dried processed fruit in like a soft, inedible graham cracker crumb. They're not great. You can look them up. If you look up a Fig Newton and you look at it and you go, that looks a little dry and like it has too much dried fruit in it and not very palatable, you're probably right. That's a Fig Newton. Okay, Moth likes Fig Newtons. Moth can defend Fig Newtons. I think that they are the worst food invented. I just have a textural issue. They are just a massive textural no for me. Anyway, but he wanted to make them Fig Newtons, which even if you like Fig Newtons, which I'll soften my tone because Moth likes them, Fig Newtons are not better than chocolate chip cookies. I think we can all agree on this. Mostly because a chocolate chip cookie is a cookie, and a Fig Newton is not a cookie. It's its own thing. Anyway, so an entire campaign was started, and like low-key, let's be real here, Toll House saw a marketing opportunity, so like Nestle Toll House sent their agent to basically go convince a bunch of school children to be really upset that chocolate chip cookie wasn't going to be the state cookie, and created an entire campaign to get the chocolate chip cookie to be the state cookie of Massachusetts. It's 100% a marketing ploy, like 100% advertising. But just basically had the advertising rep go to schools and be like, don't you want to write the governor and tell him that chocolate chip cookies should be the state cookie and not Fig Newtons? It was very successful. Chocolate chip cookie did become the state cookie of Massachusetts. Fig Newton became the state fruit cookie, I believe is what it's called. It is a state thing of its own. Both of them are. But it just makes me laugh that it's like it's like the random things. It's right up there with Massachusetts having what is it? There's a fish statue in the Massachusetts State Register that is, I think, is it a bass? Or a cod? It's a cod, the sacred cod, I believe. And they refuse to do like sessions with that. It's like a whole thing. The whole thing about the cod. Anyway, I grew up on them, and they will not say they're good because they're not. They're dry AF, but it's very nostalgic for me. See, I can't do dry foods. Like, I also don't like coconut, like dried coconut especially, because of that.
The sun is if only up.
I'm gonna let him become as grossly incandescent as he wants to. And I'm gonna decide. I have still yet found a great way to do this. There we go. Yeah. Okay. No dish. Okay. State things are weird because it's just like, does the state decide to honor this one specific thing for no immediately obvious reason? outside of usually it was invented here. Dragon was feeling very nice. That sounds about right for Rhode Island. I'll go down and get the bonfire first. Okay. I don't care for squid as a meat. I don't think that's like a hot take. I don't think many people like squid as a meat. But again, I've never really cared for it. Like, it's just... Even when cooked well, it's chewy. I think that gave me... Yeah, it didn't give me enough. It's overcooked. So for my taste, I just still think it's chewy. Like, I've definitely had it where it's been cooked right and it's not as chewy, but it's chewier for me, for the texture. Like, even when it's not overcooked. I don't know how to explain it. I'm very particular when it comes to, like, meat textures. Just your dried cuttlefish, and they call it dried squid. No, we have an ad break in process again. Oh, it's 2100. We'll get there real quick. Yeah, it's literally blocked this all day. Anyway. Like, a lot of seafood, I just find gets... I don't mind the taste of seafood, but I don't like it when it tastes fishy. And, like, I get the seafood is supposed to kind of taste fishy. Like, it's seafood. It's just never really quite been my thing. Okay. Now, I want to get past the dragon. Oh, I gotta take the ladder. That's right. Because I like to be able to get that bonfire first, rather than having to just continually weave through up the other way to Andre. Time is it? It's about 1:23. I'm struggling a little bit. It is late. I am a little bit sick. Oh, I can lure him down here. I wasn't trying to do that, but I was curious suddenly. Can I lure him down here? There we go. Hello. You want to come down here? Have I had Marion berries. They sound very, very familiar. I don't have an immediate association with them, but they sound very familiar. They're invented in your state. One of my favorite things that's really hard to find is red currants. That went about as well as I expected. There's a way to time this. And that was not it. Did we try to jerky run it? I don't think jerky... Can't remember if that actually affects space speed. It makes your ability to dodge roll. It's a cross between chilling berries and blueberry. I do. I'm actually a sucker for just a plain blueberry. Do marionberries taste like normal blackberries? Trying to remember the timing on this. Just gonna see how many times I can get him to breathe fire, I guess. Haven't had any in years. If you know the timing, I wouldn't mind a tip. I'm just trying to remember the timing, but it's not coming to me. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Almost. Keep going. Oh. I thought he was going to breathe fire in here for a second. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. There we go. Should I try to get my souls back from out there? Does he come back? I'm trying to remember if he comes back. I think he doesn't, but not for sure. We're gonna find out. Yeah, no, that's another way to do it. If you do it right and you do enough damage to the tail, I believe you actually get a weapon. Yeah. Don't make lazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've tried to do the bow method once, but it just was not worth my time. So absolute full kudos if you did the full bow method. Did my souls not drop? Oh, there they are. I don't feel like fighting him. I just wanted my souls back. Yeah. I have nothing but condolences for you. I'm also going... I thought that'd give me enough to level up. I was wrong. Very close, though. I'm going to kindle this bonfire, though. I like kindling most of the bonfires, to be honest. It is so convenient. It's one of those things, like, not only is it really convenient, but I don't really know of a reason to not have it there. I don't think it impacts the balance of things too severely. But they should do it wrong, or the dragon would have the death animation and not actually dying. Praise the sun. I think we're close to where you're stopped. You never made it to, like, Andre, then. Did you ever make it to the blacksmith? Yeah. I mean, the only reason I could think of them doing it was they wanted to get the player to visit Majula Firelink more often, but yeah. I can't think of a good reason to have done it. Oh. I do know some people that do kill him the first time round just to... Well, spoilers, you have to kill him later. But he's worth... Yeah. He's worth killing later because... Yeah. If you kill him later, you can reinforce your bonfire. I don't know if there's another way to get it. The fat ring. Apparently that is also a bad term. Fap. Fap is, it's slang. I've allowed it, but... Yeah, favor and protection. I am aware of, Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of this. So, favor and protection is a really good ring, so they call it the Fap ring. In English, though, Fap is a slang term for... self-stimulation. Okay. Okay. I was trying to think of, like, a way to say it. Still wanted to say it. Yeah, it's good. I'm like, I didn't know, because you didn't know Twinks, but I was trying to think of, like, a stream-safe way to say it. I'm like... Yeah. Come here, little guy. Whoop. And... You're like such a health spike. Anyway. Oh! I did not parry this one successfully. I always struggle with this guy more than the other one. That's okay. We're gonna go till we kill him. He'll be our own personal little hill to climb. Own little personal hill to climb. I can't remember if there's anything good for killing this one, but probably shouldn't just stand there. Oh, you came out swinging. Ooh. He's got so much more range. I think getting him into like a little bit more space would be good. Oh, come on. My shield was up. It's supposed to have 100% physical damage reduction. There we go. I like to call him the pancake mix. Yeah. He can turn so quickly. That's my big thing about him. It's like such a fast turn radius. It's 2 for Black Knight. I need to keep track of. Still keeping track of my deaths. Loading screens give me a nice chance to do so. I mean, at the very least, this is a way to farm souls. I'm just trying to remember his move set a little better. Because the other one, you can just kind of... You saw me. I just parried him away. It's no real big problem. But you can't quite shield the attacks because he can hit through them. And he's fast enough that parrying doesn't inherently work. Seems that circling right is the better call on him. You can backstab him, can't you? I always have like the worst luck trying to get any of the backstabbing to work. Yeah, it's like it just doesn't want to trigger the backstab. Like you saw that, right? Maybe. I've never had good luck triggering backstabs on enemies in this game, even when I'm not blocking. Also, these turn into a liability. Okay, so now you guys are going to be aggroed. Yeah. should really, like, probably be more careful with those guys, but... I'm gonna try it with this guy to see if I can, see if it is the moving thing. Because I could see the moving thing being it. Yeah, it's a combination of the moving and the block thing. Well, now I know. I think you've just answered an age-old question that I've had, just written up as a weird quirk of the game. Hello. I should get him coming down. There we go. Oh, a hydrate. Thank you, Ma. I'll be sure to take a hydrate. I'm making a big one. Hello? Hello? You coming? There we go. See, it makes no sense that that attack goes through my shield. I get the uppercut. I get, like, the hammer attack down. Fine. Fair. But the thrust, that's the whole point of a shield, is that I should be able to take a thrust attack. I'm getting slightly salty. Just slightly. Not that I'm dying, but the fact that I don't think a thrust attack should... I don't think that one should go through my shield. Anyway. Because it seems useless... Black Knight is always fun time. Yeah. Sorry to be jerky up on screen here, but... I want to be able to dodge roll. Does it seriously only do 64 damage? Okay. Bone it, yeah. I hit dodge. I hit the dodge button. Okay, both. I got cheated there. Okay. I got cheated there, because both those times I hit the dodge button and my character did not dodge. That's fine. Whatever. Just get my Bonet back to dealing with Mr. Boobadus here. They become the principle of the matter. They don't have to fight him. I could absolutely bypass him. But I got 10 minutes left of stream, and I'd love to be able to beat him before stream ends. Was that my problem? Did I think I had diagonal dodge when I didn't? Let's see, forward. I think you're right. Because it just corrects. Which is not something I knew. Guess we're going down the stairs. Oh. You got such a long dodge, too. Not long dodge, but like... That delay one gets me. Haha, there's a fountain. What you gonna do about it? You can take all your anger out on that fountain all you want. It ain't gonna do anything to it. You do not do a lot of damage to the backstab with the spear. Not a lot of damage for the backstab with the spear. That's kind of okay. We'll figure it out anyway. If we can just keep chaining these together, we'll be okay. But it's really hard to chain them together in this size space. I'm gonna get strapped in that corner there. I don't want to be cocky. Whoa. Oh! Bonfire got me. That area between the foot and the bonfire was too narrow to dodge through. Alright, you win some, you lose some. Thank you. I got enough time, I think, to give him one more go. So we're gonna do that. And then probably end stream, win or lose. Just because I'm still a little bit under the weather and I shouldn't push it. And I got 2 sick kids to take care of tomorrow, so. That was a catastrophic failure. We might be able to recover if I can get back to the fountain and kind of reset using the fountain as a shield. I have to see if he's following me. I assume he would be. Can I hear him? Did I actually run away fast enough that he's not following me? There we go. Okay. So. That's the one that gets me. It's the one I gotta watch for. Okay. I gotta stay away from the bonfire. Because the bonfire keeps catching me. Okay. Okay, it's right about... I jumped back. The problem is figuring out where his back is. Because it's like... It doesn't register off of his back. It's like... off of his right leg. Oh, I felt a little cheap. That's okay. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll come at him with fresh minds probably next Monday, the next time I stream Dark Souls. But we are going to wrap up here. I'm not doing a raid tonight. It's just you and Moth. I only have 3 viewers, so the third one's usually me. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up here for the night. Considering how many technicality issues that I had, like technical issues, I'm just glad that we got through as much as we did. And we will know for next time that Streamlabs and Dark Souls Remastered are not friends. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down first. Oh, I gotta use this thing, don't I? Okay. In the meantime, thank y'all for watching. I do really appreciate you being here. Appreciate everything that you do. My next stream, I'm actually technically kind of off for a few days. So my next stream will be Wednesday. And it's going to be a cozy stream. I'm going to be streaming probably Slime Rancher is the plan. Things might always change, but Slime Rancher is the plan. In the meantime, yeah, thank all of you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. Oh my, what? So much is so good. Yeah, it's actually gonna be my first time properly playing it too. So that'll be Wednesday. I've played a little bit of it, and my oldest daughter loves it. She's played a lot of it. Um, but yeah, I'm planning on streaming that really for my first time really properly playing it on Wednesday for my cozy stream day. But in the meantime, schedule's always on my Discord if you're ever curious. But yeah, thank all of you for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here. I hope you all have a wonderful night's rest or whatever you're off to do next. I don't know what time it is in Germany, but 6 hours ahead. Is it like 8 a.m. there? So a good day or whatever it is. Either way, good night, y'all. Yeah, 8 a.m. here. Pretty good. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you get or day or whatever's coming up for you. Bye, y'all.